Noso is the boss to Buju and Debbie. Debbie is the secretary to Noso. Whilst everything goes on smoothly in the office, Noso is a very rude boss, condescending, and also hate women. Not only does he hate women, he hates anyone who is below him. And also, when it comes to the house, he's always very rude to his maid and gateman. Now, the gateman called Buju and the maid. All this while, they have tried their best to leave the work, but there's no job in Nigeria. Buju and the maid try to have conversation and ask themselves, why is their boss Nonso always angry, always mad, always insulting, always condescending towards them? The maid said, well, he's a handsome man, he has money, and of course he's a young man, and because of that, he can do whatever he wants. And I am crashing on him. These were the words from the maid. Buju immediately told the maid that you need to stop crashing on Nonso. He has money and you are the maid, you are the cook, you are the cleaner. He can't have anything to do with you. If you are crashing on him, you need to stop. I am the one going to marry you. I am the driver, I am the gate man. You are my class. Let's class and class meet and leave the boss out of it. The maid was like, you will never see my pant. You are not my class. I am not your type. I am aiming higher and you are below what I need in my life. My boss is the one I'm crashing on. Buju said, you know what? I don't have anything to tell you. In as much as you have high taste, you already know that the boss can never date you. You are the one I'm going to marry and I am the one you are also going to marry. You need to prepare your mind now. And of course, you know that when things get smooth for both of us, we will definitely get together and marry. The maid said, you need to go and mind your business. The driver, as you are, you need to get ready because the boss is already ready and waiting for you, calling you outside. Immediately, Buju got to the car outside. Nonso was angry, condescending, and asking, where have you been? I've been calling you since. Buju said, I've been waiting for you in the hall. Is that where the car is? Is that what you're supposed to be waiting me for? Immediately, Buju wanted to answer. There was a slap landing on his face. Nonso again slapped the hell out of Buju. Buju kept quiet, drive the car to the office. When I got to the office, Nonso asked Debbie, is everything okay? The contract being signed? Are we preparing for the next meeting? Debbie was accurate with all her tasks and duties. Just as she was about to leave the office, Nonso asked, is this how to dress? Why are you dressing improper today? Why is your skirt so short? Debbie said, this is the normal outfit I wear to the office. I have worn this outfit already. I don't know why you're complaining today. Nonso said, are you talking back at me? This was at the point where Debbie said something and said, what a rude boss. Nonso heard it but asked her to repeat it. She refused and could not repeat it. Days later, one day, Nonso called Debbie and asked her to come to the house. But before that, whilst they drove back to the house, Nonso was having call with one of his clients and he was talking to them rudely. Debbie and Buju were eyeing each other and were like shaking their head off and in agreement and saying that this was a non-verbal communication and they were in agreement to the fact that their boss was so rude. Nonso saw the signs and ended his call sharply and said to them, I know what both of you are agreeing to, but I'm in a good mood today. That is why I'm not going to fire both of you. You better concentrate on why you were employed or you will lose being employed to me. They got to the house and Debbie, the maid, and Buju were having conversation. Per usual, they were discussing their boss and how rude he is. and they were wishing, planning that something bad happens to him so that he can learn his lesson at least. But the thing happening to him or pray to happen to him should not affect their job. They all laughed about it. Immediately the maid said, "You all should not wish anything bad on him because he's my crush and I'm going to marry him soon." Debbie looked at the maid, laughed and shake her head and said, "You think Nonso is interested in you?" Buju said, "Tell her for me. I have already told her that she's going to be my wife. The boss will never and has never asked eyes for her. Why does she think the boss will marry her or will even think of dating her? She's just dreaming." Debbie said, "Well, dreams do come true." Buju said, "This is not the kind of dream that do come true." The maid said, "You both are just talking. You are not ready. He is going to marry me. I have doing everything and I've been cooking one of his best meals. And of course, one day he is going to have eyes for me." Debbie said, "Good luck with that." Immediately they heard a loud shout in the room and said, "I hope you guys there are doing what you're supposed to do." All of them agreed and scattered the meeting. Next day, as they are planning on meeting one of their clients for their businesses, Nonso woke up in a different body, which is Buju. And Buju woke up in a different body as Nonso. Buju ran out of the house and started shouting, "Who am I? What is happening? What is this? Where am I? Look at this." Started shouting. Nonso also ran out of the house, started shouting, "What is this? What is happening to me? Did you curse me? What is this?" Immediately they both met in the hall and said, "What happened?" Nonso also asked, "What happened?" Buju asked, "What happened?" The man ran out and asked, "Buju, what is happening?" Meanwhile, Buju is now Nonso and Nonso is now Buju. There was total confusion going on in the house. The maid could not understand. Immediately, Buju called his friend. His friend came and said, "What's happening?" His friend was like, "Nonso, let's go." Nonso said, "I am not Nonso. Nonso is Buju and Buju is Nonso." The confusion was causing more confusion, and Nonso friend shouted at everyone to keep quiet, sat down and asked them questions. Nonso said, "I woke up like this." Buju said, "I woke up like this." They were so confused, and now Nonso said, "I have a contract to sign. I can't go in Buju's body." Buju was happy to be in Nonso's body anyway because he is a driver, and of course now that he is in Nonso's body, he is now the boss. Nonso or Buju to say was like, "You don't need to be happy because this is not going to last forever." Nonso friend said, "Well, let's find a solution." The maid said, "I have a prophetess who can resolve this problem." He brought in the prophetess, and the prophetess was lashing both Buju and Nonso for the spirit to move out of their body. That was not the solution to this. They did all the whipping. At the end, there was no exchange in bodies. Debbie came the next day and asked Nonso that the preparation for the meeting has been set. When she came, she was also introduced to the confusion that was going on. She was talking to Buju as Nonso, and Buju said, "Well, I am not Nonso. Nonso is now Buju." She was also confused until everything was explained to her. Debbie said, "Well, I have prepared everything. You guys should solve your problem. Whenever you are done with it, then you let me know." Buju said, "Don't be like that. We need to find a solution." Debbie recommended the pastor. The pastor came, did his thing, but still prayed and prayed and prayed, asked them to fast. 2 days, 3 days, a week after, there was still the same issue, the body having been switched. At this point, Buju as Nonso and Nonso as Buju was confused and didn't know what to do. Buju now decided to enjoy himself because he is now in the body of Nonso. Nonso, on the other hand, asked him to stop and told him to do things as he did. Nonso's friend came up with a plan and said, since they cannot find solution to the problem, Then let's find solution to how he's going to end his contract. And he said that maybe they should train Buju so that he can act as him and the contract will be signed as he wants. Nonso did not buy the idea but had no other option. Debbie was called and she was pleaded so many times to agree to train Buju to act as Nonso, and this was done with several training with so many days, and he was able to do that. The contract was end and everyone was happy. Debbie landed everything to Buju or Nonso and said, I have done everything in my power to make sure that this contract was end, and I'm happy it has been end. Now I have made a huge decision to resign. Nonso was so shocked and they want Debbie to go because she is really an asset to him and his company. But Debbie refused and she left. Buju and Nonso pleaded, but she refused to listen. Then Nonso's friend said, maybe all the sins you've committed against all the women is the reason why this is happening to you. In the night, Nonso reflected and said maybe his friend is right. So he started contacting some of the girls' contact that he has, called them, asked them out, and apologizes, and also asked them to stop the curse that has been laid on him. All the girls he contacted all said they are not the reason why this curse is laid on him. Buju was happy, Nonso continued to be sad and said, then who is the reason why I am in this body? He started reflecting and now he started being nice and sweet to all the workers and of course called Debbie to apologize. When Debbie came, Buju was interested in Debbie. Nonso saw the signs and said, you need to stay away from her, I like her. Buju said, do you just want to sleep with her just like the other women? Nonso said, no, I am really interested and I want to marry her. Buju laughed and think that Nonso was joking. Nonso said, I'm still your boss, you need to keep quiet. Nonso approached Debbie and said, I love you and I want to marry you. I have seen that I have wronged most of you, especially the workers and women. I've apologized, approached all of them and said they are not the reason why I am in this body. Debbie said, I have forgiven you a long time, but I am not coming back to the office. Nonso said, well, okay, I agree, but I want you. I need you. I want you to be my girl. Debbie said, you can't be my girl. The reason why you are now quiet and polite and human to all of us is because you are in Buju's body. Nonso said, I have learned my lesson. I don't know when I will get my body back, but now I am really, really a changed person. Debbie said, until then, we will see, but I've forgiven you. We can still be friends. Luckily for him, the next day, he got his body back. Buju is not Buju, Nonso is not Nonso. He woke up and wanted to be very mean to the maid and Buju. Immediately he remembered what happened to him and how he was so hard to communicate in another person's body. And called Buju, called the maid and apologized to them in the hall and increased their salary. They were so happy and they were thinking this was fake. Nonso said, this is not fake. I have changed, I have learned my lesson, and you guys have been so good to me. You could have killed me, poisoned me, but you did none of that. You are so loyal, and I didn't see how you guys have been great to me. I've learned my lesson, and this is not fake. This is the real me. I've changed. Buju called Debbie and told Debbie how Nonso is now a good person. Nonso called Debbie and told her that I want you to come back to the office. I need you. I said, even if you don't want to date me anymore, I agree, I accept, but I want you to come back to the office. Debbie said, Buju called me and said you have truly and really changed. Does your asking me I'll still stand? If it does, then I agree. Nonso was so happy to agree and see that Debbie was still interested or have finally accepted his proposal. Debbie said, I might have accepted your proposal, but This is just a test run. If you ruin it, then I'm gone forever. Nonso said, this is not the only thing you're going to do for me. You have changed my life totally. Nonso hugged and kissed Debbie. Buju and the maid were happy for them. Buju was eyeing the maid and the maid was like, don't even try it. All this while the next day, Buju realized that he remembered he was the reason why they exchanged body, but he never confesses. Thanks for watching this recap. This channel brings you the best Nollywood movies. We save you time and money. Don't forget to subscribe and like our videos for more movie recap.